Besides Paul.
Just Paul and this one, and he's from Temple, then they put him down here.
So how am I going to get in? I need to know.
Ollie will be.
Can you? Is there? You have a?
Because I was
investigator. Can you get on into?
I need to go visit.
FTC?
See, Paul wants me to come visit him, but he has. But I don't know.
Okay, so he needs to put you on the list.
Yeah, but the problem is that I want to go with a camera.
I will put you on the list. I will make some contacts, and I will try to get you in with a
The
camera.
camera?
With the camera.
Maybe
I'm the camera guy because I would love to meet him too. See how
You're
they
going to
treat
be the
you.
camera guy.
You
Yes,
need to get a
I've been dying
permission.
to
They
meet
have
you.
contact
There's a
visits
form.
in the-
There's a form you can fill out. I'll get you the information. I'll give it
Thank
to
you.
your church.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now, do you know anything about his? He had a. First of
Do
all,
you need proof of vaccination?
do you think that he's a?
No.
Yeah.
Do
No,
you
you
think
don't?
that he got a good deal or a bad deal?
I don't know.
I'm
You got
gonna-
8 months.
Was he the one who got the lawyer went away?
Yeah, the
Yes.
reserves. Went
The
to
reserves.
Iraq.
All right.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. This lawyer, Patrick LeDuc, you ever heard of him?
No, he's
Okay.
a Tampa guy, right?
So he was in the reserves,
Right.
old guy,
Yeah.
really old guy.
Right.
He is a lawyer, but he's also in the reserves,
Right.
and he also
Yeah.
is very, very religious. So what he does when you come in,
Oh,
let's
boy.
say you're the client,
Right.
the first thing he does is he says, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? So he converts them instantly. That's what he's very into that. So what he did with Paul
God.
was he got Paul to go to church
Yeah.
and
saw it.
blah, 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 all that. So then he says, you have to do, God wants you to make right. You go right to the judge, tell him you did everything, and and just face the music, period. So he did that, but then he felt like, this is one of these
We're
things.
trying to feel it.
I actually call Paul my friend. We write every other day. I consider him of all of them. I'm torn between, so after the lawyer went away to the reserve to go serve, he's in like
Right,
Afghanistan,
right.
he went and got another lawyer and said,
Right.
wait a second, I feel like I was duped by
Yeah.
my lawyer.
But then he got
And
this new one.
he got a new lawyer who I have not talked to because I'm not sure I trust the new lawyer. Because first of all, he gets out May 18th. Is the lawyer going to be able to get him out before then? I mean, it's already January,
They're gonna appeal the
February.
conviction.
Yeah.
Well, you're already with a conviction.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know you could appeal it, and like I mean, then it becomes like you're not a convicted felon. You still have status to appeal.
You can
but-
win an appeal.
Yeah, if you win the appeal and overturn it, so he would still have some incentive. Yeah, like to,
So some days
Conviction sort of gets
I tell him he got great legal. Sometimes I say 8 months was great,
It was.
considering that the shaman who did not. I mean, what did the shaman do? He stood there. What did
Next
Paul
to
do?
him.
He stood there. The shaman got how many months?
Right, he got
41
Yeah.
3.5
compared
years
to
of
8.
behavior.
So when I saw that, I was like, and I think that the government is going to go for more. That they're going to look to get bigger. Like people are criticizing some of the people
Right,
that got
right.
home convict. A lot of people have been getting probation and stuff. So I think they're looking to make people. Like I think if Paul went now, he'd get a longer sentence.
What-
what did he do? Okay, what did he do? He went.
He just
He won't
walked in
walk
with the
in.
Trump flag into the Senate.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And he got. So I don't know if
It's
8
not
months
bad.
was good or bad.
Well, for the charge itself, I'm looking from a charging
He
point
didn't
of
get to
view.
1512.
See, but
Yes,
you
he
didn't
did.
walk into
Oh,
the
yeah,
Senate.
he did
See,
in 8
walking
months.
into the Senate.
But I didn't do that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's the bad thing.
I wasn't
Right.
even there to say it. A lot of these people are like, we're here to overturn the. I wasn't even there for that reason. I'm not there to overturn anything.
I think they might have used him to shore up their 1512 charge too, because if they have people pleading to it, they're telling the judges, look, we already have people who pled to this felony, so if you overturn it for one case, you're going to overturn all the prior convictions. It puts more pressure on these district judges not to overturn it because we have Paul, he's going to plead guilty to the 1512, because they dropped everything but the 1512, the charge they never used before. So they're like, oh, this guy will take 8 months, and we'll have another plea. They make every single person charged with the 1512 plea to the 1512. I haven't seen them drop it.
I'm very
yeah.
interested on the first trial, how that's going to look like.
Well, I think the one thing, if you drag it out, after the Democrats lose the House,
Yeah.
and then they get rid of the committee,
Right.
people may lose interest.
Yeah.
The first trials are going to get a lot of attention.
Yes.
It's like anniversaries. The first one is a
Right.
big deal. They made a
Right.
really big deal.
Right.
January 6th.
Right.
No one's going to care after the Democrats are
Right.
out of power.
Right.
And then take Biden out of office, then who cares? If you drag it out long enough, I wouldn't go first for a trial. Because D.C. is a lot of people that work for the government,
Right.
and it's a lot of, I don't think they're
Well,
unsympathetic.
That's
The
our
jury, that's the
That's
The
our
jury
bigger
is gonna
issue,
be-
is we don't think the trial should
92%.
be held there. And
Well,
we're-
if you
we're
got
gonna
it moved,
find
you
it.
totally get off.
I
Will
wish.
you successfully move it?
No, they won't move it. Because I mean, think about it. They'll resist it. They'll say how I've heard in the
This is
hearings.
the locus delicti.
Yeah.
They're going to say,
They're in the
"How
mix of
dare
it,
you say
yeah.
we're not fair? We're fair."
Yeah.
And then it's very. The last time the government moved the trial was the Oklahoma City bomber. They agreed to move it to Colorado, so that's they stipulated. Even the Boston bomber case, which is now on appeal, the city of Boston, or the federal judge there was like, "What do you mean we can't be
And
fair?"
the motion gets decided by the judge.
The
So,
judge- yes,
right?
yes, but then, but there might be more favorable up the line. You know, we go to the not even the D.C. Circuit of Appeals, the Supreme Court. They might say, "Well, wait a second. You have politicians every night comparing it to Pearl Harbor, 9/11."
That was just
D.C.
sad.
In D.C., they're under siege at the National Guard there for 7 months. If you live there, you're like, I am under siege. I see National Guardsmen around here. You know, my city was attacked. The local media every day. You can't have a fair trial.
Well, the reason, see, I think time is going to
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
January 6th differently.
Right.
Right now, people are still in the heat of them. There's two things. Media needs stuff to fill. I mean, if you
Right.
watch TV on January 6th, it was like January 6th, 24/7. As time goes on,
Right.
it's going to be less.
Yeah.
And so I think also people are going to lose
Yeah.
their jobs.
I-
The people that were there are going to lose their jobs. So it's not going to mean anything if you weren't even there and
I
you
know.
don't even care.
We need like a war to break out. No,
Yeah, no, it's right, you know. Okay,
Like Russia.
I thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, I really, I know you're not the bad guy. I mean, if there is, I haven't found the bad guy yet, but if there is, I know
Well,
you're
what
not
if
the
the
bad guy.
guy with the eye
Thank you,
patch? I
appreciate
mean, he's like a stereotypical bad guy.
But the thing is, why I asked you the question of like, so what was the plan? Is that if there was an insurrection, you were supposed to be in line marching. You were in the military, you know
Right.
this.
No, that's
You were
what
supposed to
I'm
have a plan.
Exactly. It's called
But if you're
operations
saying-
order. You sit down
Like-
overnight with your soldiers. You go
Right.
over. All right, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go in by this side. At this time, we're gonna take over this. There was none of
If
that.
there was an insurrection, it's the sorriest insurrection in
It's
the
the worst.
20th, 21st century ever. No guns,
A
no
guy-
plan,
A guy
people
smoking-
taking selfies.
A guy smoking pot.
I love the guy
Yeah,
smoking pot.
I'm like.
Well, we did that. We just went to New Hampshire
or-
last week for the guy that just was drinking beer,
Or my favorite,
wine.
guy holding
The pew.
the pew just
Oh, yeah.
waving. I'm
Oh,
like,
he's Florida. He's your Florida guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what's going to happen to him, Mr. Webb?
He got.
no, he
He
pled.
pled.
He
He
pled.
pled.
I'm waiting for
He
sentencing, right?
pled.
Yeah.
But what's he going to get?
Probably get a few months. I'm not sure if he got.
But he was standing next to the shaman in the Senate.
So is the pleading?
The guys with the lectern.
Yes.
Yeah, he did more. So that's what pisses me off. These people
They
are
already-
getting like
no, they gave
missed
him
like
to take
15.
over.
There was a guy that they said threw a fire extinguisher at the cop.
Yeah.
They gave him 15 days. How are you
Well,
gonna
that's why.
give
That's
these
why
guys?
we told the prosecutor and the judge. We said he'll plead right now. We'll just go. You know, for
You're going to be able to laugh about this one day. If I were you, I would drag it out. That's what I would do. My strategy would drag it out because
Yeah, but my leg's about to fall off with this
oh,
damn thing.
if you can get that thing off,
Right.
Well,
Right. Well, that's.
then I would just wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't. The first trials, like this, I was in Ohio with this guy who is going to trial. He wants to subpoena Trump and make it like this whole like.
I heard about
No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna.
It's gonna be-
They're not gonna allow that. They're not gonna. The district judge is not gonna.
Yes.
Now it's over.
I just want to subpoena the people who are involved with my case. For example, that officer that I gave water, the guy that interviewed me, probably maybe one more person. But other than that, I want
Can
people.
you
that,
find him, Officer Lopez?
Yeah, let's find him.
You should find him. I mean, he's.
If he has a name, you can
Yeah,
find
yeah,
him.
yeah. No,
Officer
he's
Lopez, I
Officer
just
Lopez.
got-
We found some stuff on. He's from like Coachella,
California?
California.
From the place where the concerts happen.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what.
Coachella.
I'll find him for you.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me. Like, oh, he's a Coachella guy, and I was like, from the concert? Like, no, he's from the city. I was
The
like,
city.
oh.
Oh.
So
But
he's a
the local
California
news,
guy. Different.
local Coachella news did a thing about him because he got some award or something for being Capitol Police from that day. But he's the one in the video where he's offering him water, and he looks kind of shell shocked.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to. He
looks-
did
he
here.
looks-
Okay, I'll look for him. I'll look for him.
I've been in combat, so I know that feeling. His
He-
buddy's
he
trying
looks-
to talk to him, and he's like,
Yeah, he looks like
Like,
he's out.
yeah, he's out of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad that I met you because the media makes you into a monster.
it does, and
I mean, when you watch it, you're like, let's look at clips, and it's all very like. And can I tell you a sad story? And
Yeah.
I'll let you go back to work because I know you're trying to spend
No.
So, in the summer, I went to lunch with. Do you know who Emily Hernandez is? Have you met her? Heard of her? Okay, the girl who her claim to fame was she took home and put on her wall the Nancy Pelosi Office of the Speaker sign.
Oh yeah.
So she was one of the people I wanted to get to really early
Yes,
because I was
yes.
like, I know that if I went to something like that and I took something home to put on my wall, I know that it's a memento and not a scalp.
Right.
I knew she was 21 years old.
Right,
I
right.
knew this is not
Right,
what
right.
they're making it seem.
Right.
So I had lunch with her at her country club. And I was like, so what were you doing there? And she was like this. Well, I'd never left Missouri before. I mean, like, my neighbor was driving to D.C. and I'd never been down to Missouri. And I was like, I'll go to D.C. because, like, I'd heard, like, the monuments. And I'm thinking, this girl is, like, barely finished high school. Like, farm girl.
Right.
Works on a farm. What do you do for a living? I work on my family's farm. And I was like, and they're turning her into, like, public enemy number one.
I know.
And she's the most, like, almost you must feel sad that she's so, luckily she had a good lawyer, and her lawyer got it down to, I mean, they walked in her bedroom and they saw the thing on the wall, right? So you think, oh, she's gonna go down. She got a misdemeanor, nothing, and would walk in and get probation. But on the night of the anniversary of January 6th, she got drunk in a bar,
She got a DUI.
killed a mother.
Oh, she
Oh,
did?
killed him.
That's right. That's
Killed a
right.
mother.
She rode against
And it's
traffic
clear.
for 6
Yeah.
miles.
And now I'm telling you because I know her.
Yeah.
What happened was when the local news starts to, you're a guy who's been in the army,
Yeah.
they talk shit, you don't care.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
say, oh, local guy, bad
Yeah,
guy, whatever.
yeah.
This girl didn't have the emotional strength or maturity or whatever. So when she sees her face on TV as like the January 6th anniversary, where are they now?
Yeah.
The Capitol insurrectionists. And she's like a 21-year-old farm girl.
Yeah.
So she, I mean, it wasn't really her nature, I think, to be drunk. Anyway, so now it's her life. She pled to a nothing charge, nothing. But because of all the attention and the focus
Yeah.
on her and the way her neighbors treated her, the way they whispered about her in the
Yeah.
country club, she's got,
You got DUI manslaughter.
well, they haven't charged her yet because they haven't gotten the toxicology reports back. And I was with her on Monday and she said, I don't even remember any of
And
it.
then
She herself got like blacked out. She was blacked out the whole time. Doesn't remember any of it.
So who did she kill? Or
The mother. She killed
an
a
unknown person.
unknown.
She rode against traffic for 6 miles.
6 miles at 60 miles an hour.
And
She doesn't remember any
She
of
got
it.
into a car, and the woman who was sitting next to her husband, who drove, husband in the hospital, wife died.
Oh, my
So
God.
it's terrible. It's terrible.
I heard about it.
Gonna violate her.
No, but that's an example of like,
Like,
if you go deep, if you're really a deep, it's like, that's an example of like the kind of damage bad media. You can say like, oh, the media doesn't treat me fairly and they're full of shit. That's fine.
Right.
But like, it's not ruining your life. This has ruined her life.
Mm-hmm.
And January 6th was like a blip.
Oh,
But
no,
the
it's ruined.
attention
It's
from
ruined.
it,
Right.
freaked her.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But because it takes a lot of time too.
No, but I don't mean just the words itself, but when you have people I have people calling from Oregon that have nothing to do with my business, leaving bad reviews on my website, saying, "Oh, insurrectionist," or I had my secretary that's scared of going to work because she's saying,
Wait, hold on, Zani. It's not a bad thing to have. Like it ruined my life, or
Well, you got the powder too. You got a
I got
letter.
a powder. I had
It made it
they
look like,
closed down the
like,
whole.
like an anthrax. I think we had to call out the cops. The chemical.
did.
Why do people, people are so weird. People are so weird.
And it tested positive the first
So
test, and they
two
said that
times.
somebody who knows what they're doing made sure that the first test it'll test positive, like a field test, it'll pass that until they do the actual chemical. Like it was very premeditated, and it had like a letter like to Proud Boy.
I had to get washed down, hazmat
It,
suits,
it
everything.
referenced the
The
your
beeping
thing's
on
beeping too loudly now. How do you like this?
I opened the letter. I went to
the
work.
powder
My
goes
secretary, I thought it was a bill or something. And when I opened my letter, I just went like that. White powder came out. I was thinking already, all right, anthrax or something like that. Who knows? Crazy people.
And the FBI shows up, and they were more like, it's almost like they were more interested in just searching his office. We were like, we didn't even trust them because they were like using it like, oh, who is he? And then we had to get the postal inspector out there to try and like, it was like a jurisdictional thing.
Yeah.
It was a mess, total mess.
So, yeah, my employees, I have about 20 employees. They're worried too.
Look, you're such an upstanding member of society.
Uh,
Do they talk about that in the court?
no, of course not.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and like I said, I've never done nothing wrong.
At the trial, they will.
At the trial.
Yeah, status hearings is very.
Yeah, but they're
it's-
probably gonna call me a white supremacist. As a matter of fact, I want it in Spanish. That was my first language, so
That would be fun.
I want to interpret for my next word.
Okay, so I want you to know that I'm from New York City, and was always a long time ago friends with Gavin McGinnis, who's supposedly the guy that started the Red Boys.
Correct. Yes. I know
And
him.
when you say it was a drinking club, I'm just telling you guys, I don't know what the Proud Boys is, but I know Gavin McGinnis. I went on road trips with him to parties.
Mhm.
It was so comical to me when I first started hearing about like Proud Boys are supreme. This was like years ago when they started saying in Brooklyn,
Yeah,
where he's from.
2016.
I was like, what? This guy, I mean, he may talk shit, but a lot of it is like he's a provocateur. He says it to like be funny
Very
or whatever.
right.
But the idea that he's now being elevated to being this, it
White
makes me,
supremacist.
it totally makes me laugh because I'm like, I know this guy. I've been to many parties with him, and I know he just says some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
think about like the
But, like,
spiritual
yeah.
guru. Of
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like the godfather, and I know that. So when they say Proud Boy, I'm always like, what is a Proud Boy? So that's why it's funny to me. That
Yeah,
it's
like I said, we'll sit around the table or call each other. Hey, where you want to meet up? Can you figure out where
Yeah.
to go eat? And it's like,
no, I mean,
all these idiots,
I
you
know those. I mean, I know the Brooklyn version of those guys, and I was just like, Proud Boy. So I just wanted you to know that. Like, I have a whole history with these people, and I'm like, come on, you're like, that's just kind of like, anyway. Okay, well, I know that you have a job and a life and places to go. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to fuck you. I'm not going to do whatever you think it is about editing to
I
make it
actually
stupid
like
or
it
bad.
very-
Yeah.
No, I promise I
Do
won't.
you mind if I get a picture with you? No, I promise.
No,
no
I mean, I
problem.
wish I had. I
I'm
wish
not
I
gonna
had.
do nothing
Oh,
bad. I'm not gonna.
You can put a.
It's not